Hello, I've been testing more hot new drugstore makeup and have some thoughts to share with you, both good and bad as usual. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. There have been so many new drugstore makeup launches since 2026 started. It's a little overwhelming. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. We have brand new blushes, bronzers, and highlighters from Essence to talk about, and reformulated blushes, bronzers, and highlighters to talk about from Milani. These have gotten a lot of hype. They've also been compared to the new CoverGirl Skin Enhancer Baked Luminous Blushes and Bronzers, which I raved about in my January drugstore makeup video and a couple of other videos too. So I really enjoyed the previous Milani formulas. I've been enjoying these as well. I find them to be a little bit more pigmented and slightly smoother. And this formula is made with grape leaf extract, olive fruit oil, and vitamin E. So that could have something to do with why they're smoother. So I'll start with the blush. There are 8 shades to choose from. They did re-release some existing shades, but didn't others. I don't really know the rhyme or reason behind them releasing some existing shades, but not releasing others. These are very richly pigmented. I do get some kick up when I first tap my brush in, but it's easily fixed by just tapping my brush off or tapping it to the back of my hand before applying it to my face. That gets rid of any excess product and helps me avoid placing down too much product at once. So even though this is richly pigmented, I still find it easy to work with. It blends out really nicely. Now, I do find this has more of a glow, a sheen, kind of a glimmery finish than the CoverGirl blush that I've raved about. That can exaggerate pores and texture. So if you do have pores and texture that you are concerned about, that you don't want to be potentially exaggerated, or if you prefer a blush that starts a bit more sheer and builds gradually, you may prefer CoverGirl. But if you like a bit more sheen, a bit more glow, and you like more pigmentation right off the bat, Milani may be for you. They're both really nice blushes in different ways. It just depends on what you're looking for. If you missed my trying new makeup video in January, by the way, I will have it linked up in the corner so you can catch it after this one, and down in my description box along with everything I'm sharing and wearing today. And I'll have as many products as possible linked through YouTube shopping. The same things apply for the bronzer when it comes to pigmentation and kick up. I do get some kick up on my brush when I first tap it in, but it's easily taken care of by just tapping my brush off or tapping it to the back of my hand before applying it to my face. There are 4 bronzer shades to choose from. This is Amalfi Glow. This is a great shade for me when I just need some life and dimension to my face if I'm looking a little flat. I can also wear Tuscan Tan, the next shade down, if I'm wanting a more sun-kissed look. So these blend out just as easily and seamlessly as the blush, but they have much less of a glowy sheen, which in my opinion is a good thing when it comes to bronzer. They're very smooth and give a natural glow and dimension to your face. There are also 4 shades to choose from with the baked highlighter. This shade is Dolce Perla, which is a really pretty champagne shade. That's just what I prefer when it comes to a highlighter. This is a really smooth formula that can go from more sheer to more intense, but I wouldn't say this is a natural looking highlighter and that you're gonna fool someone into thinking it's your natural dewy skin. The previous formula wasn't either. There is a shimmer in here, but it's not a chunky, glittery shimmer. It's a really pretty, smooth looking highlighter that gives a really nice effect. I think Milani did a really nice job with this reformulation. I have no complaints with the application, the look, or the wear of any of these formulas. So let's go ahead and move into the new products from Essence. I think these are absolutely fantastic. So I'll just go ahead and say that right up front. And you cannot beat the price point of Essence products. I think all of these are around $6 and you just get such high quality for your money. So I'll start with the bronzer. This is the Soft Touch Butter Bronzer. The shade I have is Whipped Buttercup. Again, I could go a shade down. This is a good shade for me when I'm just looking a bit flat after I apply foundation and I just need to add a bit of life to my face. There's no kick up when I dip my brush in. There is a soft coconut scent here. I notice it when I first open the pan and right when I apply it, but then it dissipates. This is sheer, very natural looking and buildable, and it has a smooth, soft matte finish. The application is a breeze, it looks natural, and it wears well. And moving into the Soft Touch Bouncy Blush, I cannot read what color this is, so I have to put it on screen. The type is so small. You can apply this with your fingers or a brush. It applies so beautifully, builds effortlessly. It's very smoothing on my skin and it lasts a long time too. I've been really impressed with this formula. I don't notice that the blush has a scent to it like the bronzer or the highlighter. The highlighter they say has a soft vanilla scent, but I mean, I barely notice it. This is the Soft Touch Bouncy Glow highlighter. Again, you can apply it with your fingers or with a brush. This is a more subtle highlighter in my opinion than the Milani. This has a more soft, subtle effect. So I guess the name Soft Touch is pretty appropriate. I would say out of the three products, this product is good, but not as good as the other two. It just takes a lot for me to be impressed by a highlighter just because I haven't been wearing them a lot in general. I have to be really wowed by a highlighter to be super impressed by it. I mean, I guess that was a little bit redundant. It's not quite as smooth as the Milani highlighter, but again, it's $6. So if you're wanting an inexpensive highlighter at a good price point, this is pretty good. So these are new from Essence. I think the price point is fantastic. I especially love the blushes and bronzers. What's been on my lips for well over an hour now with no touch-ups while I've been talking and drinking has been the new NYX Jelly Job Full-Bodied Shine Gloss. There are 16 shimmer and shine finishes to choose from. This is one of the shine finishes called Jelly Jammin'. I think they describe this as a cool pink. Every time I've worn this, I've been so pleasantly surprised at how long it lasts on my lips. It feels really lightweight. It doesn't feel sticky or tacky. It has nice pigmentation and lots of shine. There's a peptide complex in here, which I love because that helps smooth, it helps your lip lines. There's also cherry oil, which is supposed to give it a sweet cherry scent. That's one of the things I'm so on with this. I would say it's more of a cherry cough drop scent. I'm sort of picking up Luden's cough drops. I notice it when I first apply it, but I don't taste it or smell it later on. The other thing I'm so on is the applicator. It has a flat spatula applicator. I don't know why they did that because I find it just doesn't apply as precisely as I'd like. The first time I ever used it, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. The scent didn't really bother me. I just thought it was a little bit different, but the applicator kind of bugged me, but then I really enjoyed the experience of wearing it and how it looks on my lips. So, you know, I keep reaching for it. I actually really do like this despite the applicator. Maybe they'll change it at some point. I'm not sure what the reason is for that, if they just needed a gimmick or what, but I think this formula is really great. I promised to come back and give you my final verdict on the L'Oreal Faux Brow Pen in my January testing new drugstore makeup video. I thought I could potentially like it after trying it that first time, but I needed to play around with it a bit more, and I did that. So this is a double-pronged brow pen that's supposed to give you natural looking brow hairs or mimic the look of natural brow hairs very quickly since there are two little pen tips instead of just one. I have used some with 3 and 4 and find that they can be really nice for the front of my brows where I'm really sparse. So I thought I liked this at first, but after using it a couple of times, I found I just couldn't get pigment from it, whether I had no makeup on, whether my face was unset or set. I just have to press too hard. I can't flick it, which is what makes it look natural. And when I have to press it too hard, it leads to an unnatural look. So this ended up being a fail for me, unfortunately. I hoped this would work, but it just didn't. Let's talk about Milani Make It Last Moisture Boost Alcohol-Free Setting Spray. So first off, I have combination skin that's normal and can be dry around the perimeter, but I get shine and oil breakthrough in the center of my face. And a lot of hydrating, moisturizing setting sprays can be too dewy for me as the day goes on. The mist is really nice and it has a nice fresh scent as I spray it. It does dissipate though. I don't continue to notice it. This has nice ingredients. It has polyglumatic acid and glycerin. And this is one of those sprays that melts my makeup together so nicely without going into dewy territory. The first time I ever pulled this out to use it, I had finished my makeup and the lower part of my face, underneath my nose, all around my mouth looked really dry and flaky. Thank you, tretinoin. And I decided that was as good of a time as any to break this out and try it. This completely eliminated the dry, flaky look and my face no longer felt dry and tight. I find when I use this, my skin looks as though it's extra hydrated from within underneath my makeup as opposed to looking dewy on top of my makeup, if that makes sense. Now, I'd say as far as being a setting spray that locks my makeup in place for a really long time, like One Size or Charlotte Tilbury, this doesn't give me that level of setting. I would say this is a moderate level setting spray. I'd stick to the original Milani Make It Last for that type of setting if you're wanting a drugstore setting spray. But if you need a boost of hydration while doing your makeup, before setting your makeup, or during the day without disrupting the finish of your makeup, this is fantastic. This was such a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting to love it, but I really do. I have another final verdict on a product I briefly tested out in January. I seem to be the only person that is not impressed with NYX's Wonder Snatch powder. Now, in my January testing new makeup video, I noted how little product you get in this component. You get so little for your money here. If this was a normal size container, you would be paying a high-end price. The only reason why this is a drugstore price is because it's so tiny. So that's one reason why I'm not impressed with it. The other is that it just doesn't blur my pores the way other powders I like do, and my face never feels set with it. It always has a tacky feeling to it. I can still feel the wetness of my foundation coming through this powder, and I get pretty shiny with it pretty quickly. It does not control my shine in the center of my face. So this is just not the powder for me all the way around. I was gonna save this blush for a video later in the month with a completely different topic, and I may still put it in there, but I've just been so impressed with Moira Love Blur blushes that I had to share them here really quickly. So this is the shade Little Gem. Here it is on the back of my hand. You can apply them with your fingers or a brush, and they build gradually. You can start out very sheer or build them up to be more pigmented. And the finish is so smooth and blurring. They give a gorgeous, flattering, airbrush soft focus finish that's really flattering on pores and texture, and they wear beautifully throughout the day. I also like this packaging too. I do have a discount code for Moira products if you want to check that out in my description box if you're interested, but I just love a lot of Moira's products, and this is no exception. This is going to be a quick one, but I feel like I kind of left you hanging on my final verdict with the new Maybelline Serum lipsticks. So I had gotten 2 shades and tested them out in my testing new drugstore makeup video in January. So we have shade 101 and 106, and I just felt like the shades were pretty similar to one another, and these are the 2 lightest shades, and I just didn't feel like they were that light. I'm not going to rehash everything I said in that video, but these do have an oil blend and hyaluronic acid, and after wearing them more, I really do like the nice, thin, hydrating formula. They're thin and comfortable, and they wear pretty nicely for a bullet lipstick, so I'm going with liking these, and I just hope that they will add some more shades over time. I also like that they have a satin and a matte formula for those of you that like matte lipsticks. I'm usually going to go for a satin formula if there's a choice between matte or satins, as I did here, but my final verdict is that this is a nice drugstore lipstick. It's creamy, thin, comfortable, and moisturizing. Let's talk about the L'Oreal Extensionist Mascara. So this is a mascara that has a very thin, slightly curved wand with a lot of short, stubby bristles. Now, I will say this doesn't flake or smudge, so I'll start there. This formula is pretty thick, so when I try to build it, the short bristles don't separate my lashes well at all through that thick formula. So I have to spend quite a bit of time with my wire lash comb trying to separate my lashes after. It's just pretty time consuming, and because it's a thick formula, it weighs my lashes down. Even if I apply a light waterproof coat first, which usually holds my curl, this just always weighs my lashes down. So on a positive note, it doesn't flake or smudge, but everything else pretty much outweighs that. So this was definitely a fail for me. I know this is an affordable makeup video, but I have two affordable skincare products I'm throwing in here because I do believe this brand is at Target now, but you can obviously order it online, and these are so good. I've been using them for well over a month now, and you need to know about them. It's very hard to find a good, affordable vitamin C product, and I can't tell you how many comments I get in my comment section asking how I remove my waterproof eye makeup because you struggle with that. So this is the Remedy for Daily Defense. This is a next-gen 15% high stability vitamin C, plus it has an advanced antioxidant complex. It's also a brightening serum. This has no offensive odor. It doesn't smell like hot dogs, and it's a very lightweight, non-sticky formula. It sinks into my skin so nicely. It doesn't pill under makeup. It's lightweight, hydrating, and not sticky. I can't tell I have another layer or another serum on my face under my other skincare products. It has that nice weightless hydration, you know, and it has a really nice ingredient profile. So I've been loving this vitamin C. And this is the Remedy for Pre-Cleansing Derm Dissolve Cleansing Balm. This has that twist to dispense packaging. I can't twist it anymore because I completely finished it. It's fragrance free. There are nice ingredients in here so it doesn't strip your skin. So this is the first step of my double cleansing at night. I massage this onto dry skin and it effortlessly removes waterproof eye makeup, any kind of makeup, sunscreen, all the things that are on my face from the day, and then I rinse it away with water and it doesn't leave any kind of oily, greasy residue behind, and then I follow it with my regular cleanser. This is lovely. I would not hesitate to repurchase this. The price point for both of these is also very lovely. I have been trying their cleanser. It's in a really big bottle. I've been loving it too. It's fragrance free. The ingredients are fantastic. I just didn't want to monopolize this video with skincare, and I haven't been using it as long, so I was going to save it for a later video. But if you're looking for full double cleansing, the cleanser is great too. I hope you found these affordable makeup and skincare reviews helpful. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. And if you feel like there was a product, a drugstore product that you didn't see in this video, check this video out because it may be in there. And be on the lookout for my next video because it has even more reviews, good and bad, on more products I've been testing. So if you're not subscribed, be sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my uploads. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!